is a Holden VS Acclaim. The VS Acclaim was Holden's safety package. It was a step above the executive. It included a passenger side airbag on the dash that always peel after time. It had ABS brakes as standard. All of the sedans had IRS. They also all had their own interior, this style of seats. They did come out with their own hubcaps. These are VS Acclaim hubcaps, and I think they really suit the car. This particular one has been debadged, but you're just gonna have to take my word for it that it is an Acclaim. You can sort of just see it over there. This particular example of a VS Acclaim is actually in pretty good condition. The interior is really good. I love the color of it, and there's no clear peel, but you know, there are a few little shopping trolley dents and things like that. But you know, we've got to remember these cars are 25, 26 years old. This particular one's on club plates. But for a VS, it is really good. One of the most common things that goes wrong with the VS is with their airbags is this. What happens is as these cars sit in the sun, the glue fails that holds this little pad down, and it peels up. This happens in the Statesman's as well. It happens to pretty much every VS model that has these optional airbags. While that blue VS Acclaim is not mine, this one is. This is my late Series 2 VS Acclaim Wagon. So the Wagons don't have independent rear suspension. These are still live axle. It has the same grey and black pinstriping that the blue one does. And my Wagon has something that I'm sure all of the P-platers watching this are familiar with. These hubcaps. Now these ones are extremely popular and they came out on VR Acclaims. I don't have any VRs here, but you know, they look pretty much the same. However, this blue VS has something that most VS Acclaims don't have, especially my Wagon. Well, actually all VS Acclaims don't have this. And that is this, a Holden 5 litre. Now all of these cars came V6, so this one has been engine swapped. If you guys follow the channel, you know that I have a 5 litre swapped VN. This is the first car that I've driven in a while that is also 5 litre swapped. And this is probably the best conversion that I've seen. The only modifications to this car, obviously other than the engine swap, are some pacemaker extractors, exhaust, and it does have a little bit of a cam, but only a really small one, nothing crazy. The reason I'm such a big fan of this engine swap is it's done properly. Everything works, everything. There is no lights on the dash, the ABS works, the cruise control works, the air conditioning works, like everything works exactly the way it should, and that is how engine swap should be. There's no missing plastic, there's no little things. Even the sticker on the strut tower has been changed to suit the 5 litre V8, and that is how a conversion should be. This motor and box came out of a VSU, and this conversion was done properly in a workshop where the car was lowered onto the motor like they do in the factory, and not like my red one was done in in my shed with a hoist. This one's done properly. The owner of this car actually saw some of my videos and reached out, so thank you, Daniel, for sharing some of the photos of the build. But the best part about having a 5 litre is not having it sit in the shed, so let's go drive it. Now, one of the things that has been so exciting to me about this car is that it is well, I know it's an Acclaim. I know that I've mentioned earlier that it's a 5 litre swapped car, but because it's a POV-pack sort of base model car, it just, I don't know, I just think people don't expect it to be a 5 litre, and even I admit that I forget that it is, and it's just such a good noise. It's so fun to drive. Now, I've driven a lot of Holden 5 litres, and this one, something about this car, it is just, it's really got go. It feels like it's got diff gears, but I've talked to the owner and it doesn't. It's got 308s, the standard Holden gears. It's also refreshing to drive a car that's had a 5 litre conversion that's done so well. There is nothing dodgy about this car. Everything works, the heater, the aircon, no lights on the dash. The engine bay looks completely factory. The only thing, which I think I've mentioned before, is that the engine covers are from an earlier car. This one should have the VS ones with the circle modern Holden logo, but that's really the only thing. Again, I'm not pushing this car to its limits. This isn't my car. I'm not going to be doing 0 to 100s in somebody else's car. So another thing to the boys that daily drive these, I don't know how you do it without losing your license, because the temptation is unreal. And I don't hoon my cars. I am not hard on cars. I have great mechanical sympathy, but this car, it's like it's going, come on Deacon, give it all you got. You
know, and it's like that. It's like it's doing that the whole time, and I really experienced that with a lot of the V8 cars that I've been driving lately. For a VS, this car, the interior is fantastic. There is no squeaks, there's no rattles. As I said before, everything works. The original radio works, which unfortunately I can't show you because it's on YouTube, but the headlining has been done, everything that you would want. I really like this car. Because the experience of driving this is so different than the V6 ones that I have, and it's not just noise. It feels like a totally different car than the V6 Commodores, and I don't understand. Yeah, it's surprising that it makes that much difference just being V8 to V6, but it does. The whole car is totally different, and it makes me excited. I was at work yesterday all day thinking about I want to come and film this first thing this morning, so it was all I could think about, and I was so excited to do this video. If you haven't driven a Holden 5 litre, honestly, you're missing out. I really think a 5 litre, whether it's Ford or Holden, is something that every Aussie car bloke either should own, or at the very least you should have some experience of driving it, because this is what the 80s and 90s Holden was like.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, because I certainly have enjoyed making a video and driving this car. There is plenty more cars like this to come on the channel. If this is your kind of content, please follow along, subscribe, and feel free to comment below anything that you'd like to see. If you're in Victoria and you have a car just like this that you'd like featured on the channel, please get in touch and we can hopefully work together. If you guys like what I do here, check out Shed Shirts, my licensed Holden merchandise store. They are real Holden products that I have worked with GM to make. So thank you very much for watching.